What's up, YouTube? Mike from Troopers. Today, we're looking at the New Orleans Saints schedule prediction. So before we get into the schedule prediction, we finished the NFC East, finished the NFC North, and today we're finishing up the NFC South. Dan's working on the AFC, I'm working on the NFC. Smash the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future predictions. So before we go game by game predicting wins and losses, we talk about the team itself. Did they improve or did they get worse? So the Saints last year were a high 12-4 record, and they won the NFC South by a one-game margin to the Buccaneers. So the Saints had a solid year last year, especially I thought that Drew Brees could have played a little bit better at the quarterback position. Taysom Hill definitely was able to contribute to their record a lot. Drew Brees went down a little bit with an injury. However, this year, no more Drew Brees. The quarterback position is in question. It's between Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill, most likely going to Jameis Winston. Now, Jameis Winston is able to pass deep. He's not afraid to air it out, but he does have a little bit of a tendency to, throw the records for interceptions. Most interceptions in a season. Jeez. But Jameis Winston, I think, will be the solid quarterback with this team. He's playing on a team that has a lot of offensive talent with Kamara. They'll be able to run the ball a lot more, and they'll be able to use Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas was not amazing last year, for sure. He had a couple issues up for himself. But this year, they have a different defense. Last year, they were 5th overall in points allowed, and they were 4th in yards allowed. So they were top 5 defense in those two categories, but there's going to be a significant drop-off this year. So basically, the money problems have caught up to New Orleans. They're in a dangerous situation with the salary cap, and they were forced to cut ties with Janoris Jenkins and Malcolm Brown, 2 starters. They tried to address this in the draft. They got a defensive lineman. They got a guy who could be a starting linebacker, Pete Warner, I think his name is. And they did get a cornerback, Paulson Adebo, to go with Marshawn Lattimore. Lattimore's a strong player, everyone knows. But if this Saints defense can somehow go down a little bit to be top 10 in 2021, that's going to be an impressive feat. So this defense could use some help, and they're not going to get any help because they have no money to spend in free agency. They did not have any, major free agent signings. In terms of offense, they were 12th overall in yards per game, and they averaged high 30.1 per game, which is towards the top of the league in terms of points per game. That might be different, though. Might be kind of biased because they do get to play the Lions twice a year. So let's keep that in mind. So heading to the schedule prediction. Week 1, they play the Green Bay Packers in New Orleans. This game, let's see. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is going to be playing for the Green Bay Packers. I did this prediction with Aaron Rodgers playing for the Packers in mind. And the Saints, whoever their quarterback is, it's going to be their first real game with the team, most likely. And unless it's Taysom Hill, but I think it's going to be Jameis Winston. So Jameis Winston versus Aaron Rodgers. Let me get Aaron Rodgers week 1, 0-1 for the Saints. Week 2 versus the Panthers in Carolina. I could easily see the Carolina Panthers win this game. I might even say they will for my weekly predictions. In terms of this, I say the Saints beat the Panthers right here in Carolina. Going to be a very close game. Sam Darnold's still getting used to the team. Jameis Winston versus Sam Darnold. I think Jameis Winston's going to have a huge game right here, and he'll be able to score a lot of points. It all depends about, can Carolina's defense make Jameis Winston look silly? If they can, they have a shot. If not, GG. 1-1. Then the New England Patriots in New England. Another winnable game for the Patriots. I like the Saints' odds slightly better in this game. I like Kamara. I don't think the Patriots have that guy yet at a running back position. So I'll give me the New Orleans Saints 2-1. Then the New York Giants. This game's in New Orleans. Giants, they're a little bit behind the Saints. The Saints are going to, the Saints have been a contender for many years. And the Giants, they're kind of trying to rebuild. They do get Saquon back from injury. I like the Kenny Golladay addition. They could have a good offensive game, but Daniel Jones just isn't the guy in my eyes yet. He could be in the future, but not yet. So 3-1 for the Saints. Then at the Washington football team. Now, Washington's going to be a scary team this year. Very good defense. I think is going to give Jameis Winston some fits in this game. I don't think Jameis Winston's going to be able to move the ball a lot downfield against this defense. And offensively, I like Washington too. They have Gibson, McLaurin, Curtis Samuel. That's a big signing. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick. Scary team in the NFC East. 3-2 for the Saints. Then the bye week and then 2 tough games. In Seattle versus Seahawks. Give me the Seattle Seahawks in that one. I don't know. I just think the Seahawks are going to win this one. And the Buccaneers, this game is in New Orleans. The first one against the Buccaneers. Buccaneers, a very good team. Probably the best team in the NFC. They were able to keep all their players from the Super Bowl. So why would they lose this game? It's going to be the Buccaneers right here for sure. So that makes them 3-4. And the Atlanta Falcons for the first time in New Orleans. Falcons probably not going to be able to keep up with the New Orleans Saints this year. So we're going to give this one to the Saints, 4-4. Then the Titans in Tennessee. Now the Titans have improved their offensive core. Now, I thought that Corey Davis was going to be a huge loss for this team, but they were replacing him with Julio Jones, which is solid. How healthy can Julio Jones be late in the season for this game? This is like the 10th week of the season. That's a major concern for me if Julio Jones can stay healthy or not. But if he's here for this game, I like Tennessee's odds. Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, OP matchup. Give me the Titans. Then the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. I think the Lightning does not strike twice, right? Unless it does and Jalen Hurts gets the second win versus the Saints. This is kind of just an optimistic prediction. I just think the Eagles, in terms of the Saints schedule, they have a couple of close games. Patriots, Panthers, Eagles. Let's see, who else did I give them wins against? There's some other games coming up, too. I give them some wins. So this is one of those 50-50 games. We'll give it to the Eagles. They could come in the Panthers, could be the Patriots, but they're not going to win all those games, so mark it up as a loss right here. The Buffalo Bills. Bills are a very good team, probably the best in the AFC, along with the Chiefs. There's a couple of good teams from the AFC North as well, but give me the Bills right here for sure. Then the Dallas Cowboys. They need to put a winning streak together because right now they're not in the playoffs. They have the Dallas Cowboys in New Orleans. They'll get the win right there. Then the New York Jets in New York. Until we see what Zach Wilson is, I'm not going to have them winning many games. So Saints right there. Buccaneers again in Tampa Bay. This could be a key game in terms of playoff seeding. And I think they lose to the Buccaneers. They get swept this year, make them 0-2 against them. So right now they're sitting at 6-8. Not great. 3-game win streak to end the season. Miami Dolphins, mark it up as a win. Offense not looking good for that team. Tua, he was way too conservatory last year. If he can step it up, they'll be a decent team. Really good defense from Miami. I saw some good things from them in terms of turnover potential, but offensively not great. And then the Carolina Panthers for the second time. Now, I don't think the Saints are going to sweep the Panthers, but I have it in my predictions, so we'll mark it up as 2-0 right there. And then the final game of the season versus the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. They'll sweep the Falcons, making them 9-8 to end the season. Now, 9-8, it's not as good as 12-4 from last year, but they did have some salary cap issues, and they weren't able to retain all their defensive players. Offensively, nobody knows what's going to happen at quarterback, so 9-8 is a pretty fair prediction in my opinion, which would potentially get them the wild card. You have to stay tuned for the playoff predictions. Thanks for watching. Smash the subscribe button.